Governments globally are forever looking at innovative and creative ways of opening up their economies to the global community to attract foreign direct investments (FDI), to boost the GDP, and in the process create jobs and wealth for their people. Investors could be attracted through policies that engender trust and woo such investors, while also providing a watershed for the protection of such investments when they come in. In Nigeria, the dearth of critical infrastructure and the need for quick intervention is quite obvious, and this in recent times has led to persistent demands in several quarters for government's increased funding to ameliorate the shortfall in these critical infrastructures. Delta State, Nigeria's big heart, according to the reports of the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), is one of the fastest developing economies amongst the Committee of States in the country. This rating shows that the government was pragmatic in its design and implementation of effective policies that has galvanized the entire economic base in the state through accountable, transparent, and inclusive governance.
All of this that the governor has done is clearly reflected in our gross domestic product. When federal government was looking at less than 2% in 2017, the state recorded an outstanding 40.15% in terms of growth. This is established by Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. It is not created by OKOWA Plus or his aides.
What is happening today in terms of road infrastructure are things you can see in developed parts of this world. And that's what is replicating here. And so we're not going to compare ourselves with other states, whether neighboring or far states of the country. We're going to compare ourselves to other economy of the world, super economies of the world. So he's doing extremely very well in every sphere of human endeavor.
These achievements were direct results of deliberate efforts on the part of government in applying scarce resources judiciously to critical areas of the economy with maximum results and benefits to the governed. One critical subsector of the economy, the policies of the Governor Ifeanyi Okowa-led government, has had direct and immediate impact on the development of Delta State is the aviation subsector. Driven by a desire to effectively diversify the economy of the state and engender an improved GDP beyond the spoils of oil revenue, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa paid special attention to the opening of the state to the rest of the world. To achieve this, the administration invested considerable amount of resources to the upgrade of facilities at the Asaba International Airport project, especially the runway. This was done to reverse its downgrading by the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) and regain its license to operate and possibly take control of a huge market in the South-South, Southeast geopolitical zones and possibly the Gulf of Guinea.
It's a good thing that the federal government has given a final approval for this airport, and hopefully rather than traveling 1 hour or two through the dangerous roads, we can now fly directly. It's a good development.
I saw it when it was not functioning well. And I can tell you, since the rehabilitation, I have flown to and from this airport twice. And what I see now is a tremendous improvement.
Many people travel from this airport to so many places across the country. It has really done a lot for us.
This dream, which appeared very tall and insurmountable, has been achieved as the airport is not only fully functional today with a brand new runway, perimeter fencing, fire service station as well as other auxiliary infrastructure, but has hosted some international flights following the hosting of some high-profile international sports meets such as African Athletics Championship (AAC), Africa Cup of Nations AFCON qualifier, ITO Cup finals, and international friendly football matches.
Because you have an airport here that you have a lot of these international friendlies and international matches that are coming to the Asaba County Stadium. Now you have Egypt Air coming in straight to Asaba, and they're also taking them back to Cairo. it makes it more easy for businessmen and investors to come straight to Asaba and do business.
The experience was very good. The controls were very professional coming over here, and the landing was very smooth, and the runway is very good. The greeneries are, you have very nice views in your country, and this is a pleasure to be here today.
The desire of the OKOWA-led administration to ensure that the people of Delta State reap maximum benefits from their investments in the airport project propelled government to take the decision to concession the Asaba International Airport AIA to a preferred bidder. Recently, potential concessionaries converged on the state for the exercise. Part of critical areas to look at to provide master concessionaries and sub-concessionaries will be to cover the maintenance, repair, overhaul MRO facility, business park, logistics center, anchor airport operator, and many others.
The idea of the airport being concessioned will make it more effective. We create wealth, create employment, we create economic stimulation in the region, and this will also offset some of the ills that the government has to deal with because of unemployment and activity restiveness of youth.
We're looking at logistics, warehousing, cargo airlines, more traffic from different parts of the country, even abroad. All this translates to economic value at the end.
To the uninitiated in the business module of running an effective, profitable airport, the question frequently asked is, why concession it in the first place? The senior policy advisor to the governor, Professor Sylvester Monyi, further shed light on this while disclosing the modalities for the bidding process.
What we have done is to come up with the idea of concessioning the airport so that we can get credible investors, put in the necessary requirement in terms of resources and manpower to take the airport to the level that we require it to be, and at the same time ensure that it doesn't become a drain pipe for the state government. So we want it to be a win-win situation both for the government and for the people of the state, and most importantly for those who are coming to invest in Asaba.
Smart Delta.
Hey, welcome to Delta. Governor, where they want to go.
Hi, my name is Fretless, and I live in Asaba, capital city of Delta State. As an entertainer, my job entails a lot of movement from one place to the other, and also to be at the right place at the right time, meaning that I need good roads to be able to meet up with work or appointments. And with the new government reform on construction and rehabilitation of all major and feeder roads in the state as part of a smart agenda, it has become so easy for me to move around at all times. Now, I just cruise from street to street, city to city, all over the state. And even apart from the roads as I move along daily, I see magnificent projects everywhere. Check out this one in Warri and several other places. Wow. Governor OKOWA is indeed a man with a vision.
With a promise of better days are here under a new economic growth vision tagged Stronger Delta, logical reasoning suggests a Stronger Delta vision will be anchored on deliberate pursuit of investments as well as policy formulation and implementation that will engender growth in the economy. Multifaceted strategies will therefore be adopted across board for this to happen.
We have made considerable progress in our efforts to position Delta as investors' preferred destination. We established the Delta State Investment Development Agency, the body charged with formulating policies and programs that will engender an investor-friendly climate and healthy business environment.
In line with this, peace and security is central and paramount, without which all attempts to open up the states to the world will be an exercise in futility.
Security as a whole generally is taken very seriously by this administration. Without security, you cannot have development. So if you spend money on security, you are only spending money for more development and better improvement and a better quality of life for the people.
OKOWA has done greatly for the state in terms of economy, in terms of security. It has been marvelous. It has really made people, even investors, around Delta and the environs. They have found Delta State a peaceful abode for them to do their business. So we are really happy that Delta State is a peaceful state.
The morning we do come here around 7 and go around 8 in the night, and there's no harassment from anybody. The security is okay. We thank the governor of Delta State. He's trying for us.
With the state enjoying more stability and peace, development is being fast-tracked, and a direct correlation of this was investor confidence to do business in a more secured environment. It's not surprising, therefore, that the government started signing MOUs with investors. Prominent among MOUs with immediate impact is the Asaba Mall. This business outfit has brought a lot of flavor to the socio-economic landscape in the state.
The state government is definitely open to having quality business in the state and contributing to ease of doing business in their own way, at least for things that are within the control of the state government. And it's a good one that the current government has focused on infrastructural development, and that in itself is helping people to have access to the mall easily.
The government also approved the construction of the ultra-modern mechanic village through the partnership of a private operator under Build, Operate and Transfer (BOT) agreement. Some facilities in the village are, but not limited to, 82 mechanic shops, 992 auto spare part shops, police post, bank, clinic and many more.
As you can see in Delta State, they don't have a place of trading, a big market. So it's now a credit to the governor for making Delta State to have something like this. At least from now onwards, Delta State to have a name that they have a very big market called Mechanic Village.
So many youth, they used to be on the street, jobless. But with this type of project now, he has been able to bring in so many youth, and put food on their table. It is not easy. I must really appreciate him for that.
The secure and friendly business environment is also encouraging other private investors like the owners of Rain Oil and Northwest Petroleum.
Delta State today is far better than what it was in terms of infrastructure. There's been a lot of value that makes Delta State attractive for investors to come in today. We've played a very little part in adding value to our very small corner in the state.
It is a fact that availability of power is a major attraction to investors. This is because good services can be produced at relatively cheaper cost. Thus, end products subsequently become more affordable to the end user and consumer. It is therefore not surprising that private developers and investors in the energy sector are taking full advantage of Delta State, the new destination of choice, to do business with the government and the good people of the state. For instance, Transcorp Power, Proton Energy and Onose Tibia Energy Limited at Ekrokwe Ekpejigbe community are all in one form of partnership or the other with government to bring on board power plants for better energy delivery in the state.
We are expanding the transmission network. We are reconstructing the 330 kV line from Delta to Benin. Currently it carries 1,200. We are expanding it to carry 2,400 so that there will be no problem on evacuation.
A power plant contains a lot of things. I know the Temi youth will be engaged in terms of working aspects. So it's of more benefit to us.
With this project, we are going to benefit because at least massively, as in maybe we can be paying a token to just have light.
The well-articulated policies of Delta State government that saw to the completion of critical sports infrastructure such as the Stephen Keshi Stadium had an immediate and profound impact on the state economy, as well as opening up Delta states to the rest of the world. A situation where the state got the nod to host Confederation of African Athletics (CAA) is no mean achievement. This singular event attracted to Delta State 800 athletes, 280 officials, and 115 foreign journalists. These numbers do not include the undocumented like the number of tourists who flew into Delta State to be a part of the sports fiesta.
I've only been here for a few hours. I've enjoyed every bit of it so far.
A lot of people might not know about Delta, but this is going to expose Delta to the world. And we're really happy about it.
The facility also hosted African Cup of Nations qualifiers as well as Federation of International Football Association FIFA approved international friendlies between Nigeria and Egypt and others.
I'm happy to be here today to watch the Eagles play. The governor has done a great job in developing the stadium. Like, this is my first time in Asaba and I came specifically because of the match. He has done a good job. It will boost the economy, not just Asaba generally, but Nigeria as a whole.
We are praying that governor will continue and get other big events for us to witness. It's only Abuja, Lagos that you see this. Thank God is coming to Asaba.
Go and well done. I don't do well. You go start do work. This one you go do another one past this one. So from Onitsha, come watch football. So I'm very happy.
What this kind of major sports meets does is to open up the potentials of the state to visitors and potential investors and business.
Well, structures like this are mostly economically viable in states where they are because they draw a lot of commerce into the state. Particularly when you play football matches like this, every sector of the economy is turned around.
We are always enjoying this stadium. And we appreciate all the efforts that the governor is doing, especially for Delta people. Everybody is enjoying this facility here.
The stadium is very good and I've been passing through this place, but whenever I pass through this place, I was thinking just one day I could supposed to see an international match. So fortunately, I got a opportunity today. I'm enjoying the match.
The Catch Them Young policy that birthed the rebranded Principals Cup, Headmasters Cup, as well as Delta School Sports is a winner, as the state has become a hub for talent development and consequently a huge market for sportswears and accessories. This is an attraction to big sports brands, as Delta State will become a hotbed to market some of the biggest brand names in sportswear designs and sales.
These kids here, it's like replenishing. They are going to replenish the stock. So as the athletes are aging, the new ones are being produced. So you can see now that by the time we go for youth sports, we also have young people to take the place of those ones that have passed the age. So Delta State is going to always continue to be tops because the state is investing heavily.
If we can busy our young boys and girls, through sports, they won't find time to go and do negative things in life. I want to say thank you for giving something back to our kids. These are the future of this state. These are the future of Africa. These are the future of the world.
Sports is part of development and sports grows the economy too. When these athletes travel out and become professionals, they come back to invest in the younger ones. So the government at this Delta State did a lot.
The well-articulated Delta State policies are also giving verve to the hospitality industry and by extension a stronger Delta. Foreign global brands are beginning to inch their way and having sure footing in Delta State. A good example is Golden Tulip, a global brand in hospitality industry. Today they are in full business. There are others like Hampton Towers and yet others springing up.
Business in Delta State has been awesome. National team footballers that never knew a town like Asaba, they've been able to come here and it has boosted our business, it has boosted the name of the state. And honestly, I'll give kudos to my governor. OKOWA is working.
I want to thank Governor Okowa for what he has been doing in Delta State because Hampton Towers and Spa is in Asaba and Asaba is in Delta State. And if not for his support and all that, there won't be Hampton Towers and Spa.
As a GM, I see what our revenue base is, and I see how many people throng this hotel, especially the pool side, even the rooms. If I tell you that it is a blessing, it is a blessing because people come here as early as 2 a.m. in the morning because of the accessibility of the hotel.
As part of the stronger Delta vision in the area of general transportation, The investment in a public-private partnership deal in favor of the state government, which has today rebranded the state-owned Delta Line Company into being the toast of commuters, is a delightful initiative. These are economic transformation ideas which, among others, would make positive history for the administration.
It has showcased Delta Line as the pride of the South. Then people don't used to respect Delta Line. They just feel, well, Delta Line, no level, you know. But right now, when you talk about Delta Line, it's like one of the most unique transport company in Delta State right now.
I was not entering the Delta Line because of the way it is. When you come, you will not see vehicle. But when I noticed that there's a lot of changes since December when they launched the new vehicle, that is when I started entering. I do enter it from Warri to Asabe every day.
I have undergone safety trainings, defensive driving trainings, which has added to my experience. Most of the areas where Delta was not known before, Delta has been known, and the name has been ringing like bell in every area. Where you travel out of the states, you see people commending the states. That is the hard work of the governor.
There is no doubting the fact that one of the policies of the OKOWA-led administration, with great potentials of opening the states to the world and investments, is the policy on building roads. Roads infrastructure is fundamental to socio-economic growth, development and inclusiveness in any society. This is because roads infrastructure provides the link between producers and marketers, workers to jobs, as well as stimulates economic responses in terms of trade, location choices, and ultimately reshape development outcomes that policy makers seek. It is therefore not surprising that Senator Ifeanyi Okowa has sunk huge state resources building roads across the state. At the last count, roads embarked upon is 455, comprising 1,269.42 kilometers and 517.34 kilometers in drainage channels.
We no even put eye like say we go get this road. It will benefit very well for the community because we dey free to carry our goods to everywhere now, and market people are locating us for this community now. So we dey very happy.
Before, if you enter bike, they waka for this road. Both gallop, but now governor don't make all the community to happy for the road where our governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, do for us.
We are very, very happy about this road. This road is a good access to making our people to reach their various destinations.
The investment and improvement of the human capital in the state is also standing as a very good testimony to the government, because this is a watershed for quality manpower that can be deployed to achieve results. The various empowerment programs and trainings in agriculture and other skill set are verifiable evidences. Factories and manufacturing concerns will be happy to find a home in Delta on account of abundant raw materials coming from the numerous farms for products manufacturing. This will definitely be an attraction to the state.
In course of producing fish, we as well generated some raw materials that the company uses. For instance, the oil we extract from our fish in the process of drying the fish is very healthy for human consumption as well, and there are other factories that require this for their productions. After having produced all these things, generated all these things, other companies, other factories that ordinarily they would have gone to other states to source for their raw materials, they preferred staying here because raw material is very accessible to them.
In Yagapreneurs, we have become the toast of the state presently because we have a lot of factories, companies, even big-time farmers coming in to ask for our products. In fact, we can't meet their demand. They call us, they take their orders, and we tell them when they will get. That's one of the things the empowerment has done for us.
Affordable, accessible, and available healthcare will also be an attraction to both locals and foreigners living in an environment. Today, Delta State is the first state in Nigeria to implement effectively the compulsory health insurance scheme in line with the universal healthcare coverage. It has enrollees now numbering more than 500,000.
The benefit is for the whole community.
This program, when they bring, is very, very good for us.
We will not pay money for receiving treatment. The governor of Delta State, OKOWA, God will go to bless them more.
This innovation is going to affect a lot of lives, that's the truth. We barely started in this place. We are going to change lives, affect lives. There's hardly any Deltan that won't be affected by this. It's a big credit to the governor for this good work.
Deltans never doubted the ability and capacity of Governor Arthur Ifeanyi Okowa to add value to governance. It only follows that planned action, spiced with prayers and political willpower of the Okowa-led administration, will certainly transform the state into an economic hub with the positive effect of a better and stronger state, where prosperity and socio-economic advancement shall reflect positively in the living standards of Deltans.
Come to Delta State, come and see the good things where OKOWA they do you better. Run, come to Delta State, come and see the good things where OKOWA they do. I see your job and work creation in Delta, make the youth say them holla. OKOWA. I see good roads everywhere in Delta, make the people say them cola. Come live in Delta, say me I say, come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.